Today, let's talk about wealth building using Pareto's Principle. For those of you who don't know, Pareto's Principle is that 80% of consequences come from 20% of the causes. So most of our pain points come from just 20% of what's causing it. If you're running a successful business and you have 10 employees, and 2 of those employees are just hard to deal with. I'm going to say government employees because you can't just fire them, right? You have to go through a process. So 2 of those employees, they don't come in on time. They find reasons to shirk duties. They don't do their work. They're trying to pass off stuff on the other one. So for their coworkers and the supervisors, that's an awful situation to deal with somebody that don't want to do their work, and you can't just fire them, right? So imagine how much problem those 2 people are causing in a 10-person organization. Pareto's Principle is the same way. 20% of the problems cause 80% of what the result is, of the consequences, right? So I'm going to turn that on its head today and talk about it from a wealth building standpoint. If you like talking about money, like I do every day, and you like building wealth and figuring out your hustle and your grind and how to build generational wealth, this may be the channel for you. So do like at a minimum. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm putting out new videos. And then if it's what you're feeling, subscribe to my channel. I'll be right back with you.
The Real Daddy Talk. The Real Daddy Talk.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl, The Real Teddy Talks, educating you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on entrepreneurship, your hustle and your grind, and building generational wealth. Today we're going to talk Pareto's Principle and wealth building. So let's talk about wealth with Pareto's Principle. I'm going to break out not just an 80-20, but I'm going to take the 20 that's there, that's causing all the problems, and I'm going to break the 80 in 2 and make it a 40-40. So let's talk about your wealth, your income, and what 20% should go to. 20% of your income should go to the fun stuff. I just did a video the other day talking about feelings. Everybody in their feelings and being all emotional spending, emotional binging, emotional traveling, emotional relationships, emotional everything. Everybody's in their feelings and they're paying for it with cash and then paying for it for the rest of their lives with bad credit, debt, loans, and not building wealth, right? So 20% of your income needs to go to the fun stuff. And that includes vacations, trips, splurging on those golf clubs, splurging on those new shoes, entertaining yourself throughout the week. Whatever that is, no more than 20% of your income should go to that. And this is a high number, right? I'm giving you much more leeway than I give myself, all right? Because when you abuse that portion of your spending and you start spending 30, 40, 50% on the fun and the things, you're surrounded by things that are keeping you broke. You're surrounded by things that are keeping you unwealthy and unhealthy and unhappy and in a bad place, in a sunken place, okay? So keep that to no more than 20% of your spending and you'll live a happier life. Now let's talk about the other 80%. Those are the good things, the things that are probably going right. So as far as your income is concerned, the other 80% needs to be split between your needs and your investing and your saving and your building wealth and all of that, right? So I'm going to split that right down the middle. And I'm going to say 40% of your income needs to go to your needs. And that's your Maslow hierarchy of needs, those bottom 2 levels. It's your psychological needs and your safety. So to food, it's a basic need. Clean water, a nice house, a roof over your head, paying your utilities, keeping your house warm or cooled or whatever it needs to be. All of those things need to be in that 40%. Those are your basic necessities. Your car, you're paying your car note, your house mortgage, or your rent. And all the things that keep it so you can survive. And that's basic needs. I'm not talking about the fun stuff, okay? Basic needs. That includes internet. I think at this point in time in 2021, we all need our internet. I know I do. But that's not all. That's not fun stuff. It's not extra spending. So 40% of your spending needs to be what you need. You're fulfilling those 2 bottom levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Your psychological needs and your safety needs. And that leaves us with just 40% more. And where should that 40% go when you're trying to build wealth? It's what I talk about, your side hustles, right? 40% needs to go to wealth building. That's your saving. That's your investing. That's finding other multiple streams of income. That's investing in multiple streams of income. So that's investing in your side hustles, investing in your business, investing in cryptocurrency, building businesses. So you might need to put some money in your business to start making money. Use 40% of your income for that, because you have to spend money to make money. Scared money don't make money, okay? So you have to spend money to get money. You have to invest. You have to do your research. You have to do your due diligence. Find out if this is a good investment. Then you invest in it and you watch it grow. And if you don't do the due diligence part, then it's more like gambling. And that gambling, and God forbid, you're gambling. But if you're gambling, that needs to be in that 20%. That's in the wants. That's the fun money. That's money you're spending to make yourself feel good, okay? So if you need to feel good, put that into that 20%. Don't gamble with your money. And people use investing like a gamble all the time, only because they don't do their due diligence. They don't do their research. They're not talking to the right people, and they're not reading the right things. So let's give an example. Say you make $100,000 a year after taxes. I'm using 100 because it's a round number. I don't know how much money you make. But after tax, you make $100,000. So you would earmark that year $20,000 to the fun stuff. All right, that's all your wants. Just put it to the side. That's your want money. I would use it to invest, but hey, some people like other things, okay? So that's your want money, put it aside. 40,000 of that needs to go to your basic needs. So you need to make sure that your car notes, your mortgage payments, your utility bills, your phone bills, your internet bills, your food bills. You need to make sure all of that doesn't exceed $40,000 that year. So this is going to require you to budget. You're going to have to create a budget. And you do it in advance. It keeps you honest. It lets you know what you can really afford. People say, how much house can you afford? If you've never done a budget, how do you know what you can afford? You can't say, oh, I think I have an extra $3,000 at the end of every month, so I can afford a house. But can you afford its upkeep? Can you afford the PMI? Can you afford the insurance? Can you afford to fix something if it goes wrong? I had a house that got struck by lightning, and it was just expensive enough that it was barely covered by insurance. So that was like $2,000 out of pocket. Just boom, like that, one day. So you have to prepare for those things, right? So that's your basic needs. And then another $40,000 left out of that $100,000 salary, that's your money to make it happen. That's your money to create multiple streams of income. Your money to create passive income. Your money to put towards your side hustle, towards your business ideas, towards your investing, towards cryptocurrency, towards stocks and bonds, and day trading, and EFTs, and all of that. And if you do that, and you do it aggressively, and you do it religiously, and you build it at the beginning of the year, and then kind of check in with yourself every month, I assure you, your wealth building is going to happen. If you take $40,000 a month and you earmark it only for building wealth at a 6% return, I mean, we're talking like savings bonds. I mean, it's a little more than savings bonds, but your average return on a good investment, I always say 6%. That's just my magic number for a good return on a good stock, something you're just putting in there to let it sit and it's in a stable company, 6% annually. So if you put $40,000 in every year to make at least 6%, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. And then you can retire when you want to. Then you can live that life you want to live. Live in your best life, and you can do it. So take Pareto's principle, turn it on its head a little. Let's do the 40, 40, 20. 40% investing, 40% for needs, and 20% for wants. And invest in yourself, just 1% a day. Reach your exponential greatness and have phenomenal results at the end of any year. Invest in yourself today. This is the Real Teddy Talks, signing off.